From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 4:30, a terrifying day in Washington, D.C. The latest on pro-Trump riots on Capitol Hill and the breaking news on a vote to finally certify that election.
New information on the next Hoosiers in line to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, who health officials say can sign up by the end of this week. And a temporary stop on unemployment benefits, putting some Hoosiers in a tough situation. What the Department of Workforce Development is saying about this holdup. The time right now is 4:30 here. It is Thursday morning. Thanks for starting your day with us here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. And I'm Megan Shin. Of course, we have Todd Clausen here with a look at that cloudy forecast still, Todd. Man.
Oh, man. We can just not break this cloudy pattern here across the area. And it's not just us. Much of the Midwest is just dealing with the same thing in the sense that we don't have any big storm systems or fronts coming through to change our weather pattern. And that's why we're just stuck with the clouds and these temperatures that are going to once again today only be in the upper 30s to right around 40 degrees. The trade-off with the clouds, though, is the overnight hours aren't as cold as they could be. We're at 35 right now in Indy, 33 in Bloomington, 31 is the current temperature in Peru. So Peru, you're the only one below freezing at this point. This morning we have no visibility issues. Yesterday we had a little bit of patchy fog in spots. That should not be a concern for us here throughout the day today, but you can see the clouds are locked in all across central Indiana. We'll expand out. We had that storm system yesterday. Remember, it was up in Minneapolis and Omaha. It's going in an odd direction. It's actually going to the south, and it's going to turn into a pretty big storm system, but it is going to bypass us to the south. It will not impact us with any precipitation. We'll get the clouds from that system, but nonetheless, we will not see any rain and or snow today. Lots of clouds. Once again, Lauren, temperatures topping off in the upper 30s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at your commute as you're heading out on the roads this Thursday morning. Here's I-465 and East 56th Street. This is on the northeast side near Fall Creek Road, and traffic is quiet, as you can see. No delays, no crashes to report around the metro area. Good news if you're heading out the door early this morning.
To those who wreaked havoc in our capital today, you did not win. Violence never wins. Freedom wins. And this is still the people's house.
Vice President Mike Pence appearing to turn against President Trump's wishes in his final days in office. The vice president overseeing the certification of Joe Biden's election win just hours after pro-Trump protesters breached the U.S. Capitol. It's part of the breaking news that's been developing overnight following the chaos in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday. Within the past hours, members of Congress affirmed the Electoral College vote certifying Joe Biden as president-elect.
And following the riots, several lawmakers, including Indiana Senator Mike Braun, withdrew his objection to that certification. ABC's Faith Abube has the very latest from the nation's capital.
Overnight, a joint session of Congress ratifying the Electoral College vote in the presidential election. The move certifying President-elect Joe Biden's decisive win as he prepares to take office in less than 2 weeks.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will be the president and the vice president, according to the ballots that have been given to us.
And it comes after a tumultuous day at the U.S. Capitol, a symbol of U.S. democracy, attacked by violent pro-Trump mobs and left in disarray. The image is hard to watch. Demonstrators scaling walls, breaking through security barriers, smashing windows, and storming restricted areas of the U.S. Capitol, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office. The Trump supporters forcing lawmakers to take cover in fear of their lives. Pictures show armed Capitol Police outnumbered, guns drawn and barricading doors as the chaos unfolded. D.C. police telling ABC News 1 woman and 2 men suffered medical emergencies and later died. Another woman shot and killed during a standoff inside the Capitol. The chaos forcing lawmakers to break from what should have been a quiet day, ratifying the Electoral College votes in the presidential election. Instead, as the joint session of Congress convened, President Trump urging his supporters during a rally to head to the Capitol.
You'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
As his supporters breached the building, multiple sources tell ABC News Trump rejected calls to bring in the National Guard, only signing off after White House officials intervened for the sake of the country. 3 people inside the White House resigning over the violent display. And now some talk, according to ABC News sources, among cabinet members to remove Trump himself from office. Lawmakers from both sides of the political aisle, shaken but undeterred, returning to the chamber overnight to finish their work. Even some Trump allies dropping their objections to certifying Biden electors.
I will stand with you tonight. That is to transfer power in a peaceful way.
And despite the violence overnight, some House Republicans objected to certifying Electoral College votes from swing states Joe Biden won, but those efforts again failed. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
Capitol Hill now quiet at this hour as curfew remains in place until 6 this morning. But the Secret Service is ramping up security at the White House, Naval Observatory, and Secret Service headquarters. D.C. police say at least 52 people were arrested in connection with the Capitol Hill riots. A law enforcement analyst says there are concerns that since rioters were cleared from the Capitol, they will disperse to other areas of the city and potentially incite more violence. Lawmakers say they also want to investigate the response by police. The chair of the House Administration Committee says the situation raises grave security concerns, and they want to know how rioters were able to occupy and vandalize the building. She says the committee will work with House and Senate leaders to review Capitol Police preparedness. And here's a live look at the Capitol right now. You can see it very well lit and obviously looking very quiet at this point. We'll continue to follow updates on the very latest developments in this story, and we have coverage of the riots that'll continue as we go on with the rest of the day on the WRTV app.
And the time right now is 4:36. Let's get an update on Indiana's plan to roll out the COVID-19 vaccines. Starting this week, more Hoosiers will be able to sign up to get that first dose. Governor Eric Holcomb and state leaders announcing those 80 years and older can start signing up at 9 a.m. tomorrow. They could even receive the vaccine the same day. Officials say after that, people ages 70 and older can be vaccinated. Those 60 and older will follow, rather. A specific timeline for those signups have not been released yet. So far, 128,000 Hoosiers have received their first dose. And the number of cases in our state of the coronavirus have taken a jump. The Indiana State Department of Health reports 6,214 new cases of the virus. More than 529,000 cases have been reported since this pandemic began. 80 more Hoosiers have also died with the virus, bringing the state's death toll to more than 8,300. 253 of those cases happened in January so far.
Payments have temporarily stopped for thousands of Hoosiers on the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. That program expired late last month, and the federal government approved a new one that will continue providing assistance for those gig economy and self-employed workers. However, those payments aren't being made yet. This is the notice from the Department of Workforce Development's website. It says they're, quote, waiting on guidance from the U.S. Department of Labor, but right now there's no timeline on when that will be, leaving people who rely on that money in a tough situation.
There's just zero transparency on what's been going on, so it's really hard for us to plan. It's hard for us to do anything at this point until we get concrete information on how it's going to be handled.
The Department of Workforce Development declined an interview. We'll let you know when we learn more.
A Shelby County community could lose its only bank in town. Coming up, why residents say the closure could hurt local businesses.
And a new federal law is making changes to the foster system. How one state's program is already making an impact and helping better match kids with foster families. That's right after the break.
And Megan, there's a storm system that is down to our south, and it's going to scoot towards Atlanta and not bring us any precipitation, which isn't a bad thing, but unfortunately, it's going to keep us locked in with the cloud cover going forward throughout the course of the day today and into your Friday. We'll talk about that in your weekend forecast coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Many people in the Shelby County community of Morristown are fighting to keep their only bank in town open. Residents are worried that the closure could impact businesses and the older population. WRTV's Troy Washington speaks with one business owner about why he's working to keep that local bank in business.
Philip Nye owns a business in Morristown, and he's worried that the only local bank in town could close.
My business from here is probably a block and a half. Quite often on a daily basis when I come here, instead of driving a car, I hop on my golf cart and come over. In addition to the golf cart, on a nice day, I'm just as apt for a little exercise to hop on my bicycle. By the time I try to start up a car, I can be here either on a golf cart or on a bicycle.
First Merchants is set to close 17 banks across Indiana. The company says they were starting to rely heavily on digital banking services instead of branches, and the pandemic only accelerated the trend.
I want to see them remain here.
Nye wants to see if his town can keep the bank around.
Well, as a small business, it's important because banking today, a lot of people are going to the internet banking. They're removing the brick and mortar away from the communities. And again, banking to a business, I need access to be able to come in, to transfer funds, do wires and things. A lot of this can be done online, but it is challenging, it's time consuming, and it's so easy to come in and talk with a banking professional.
He says if the bank leaves, he would have to carve out time in his days just to make a bank trip.
Probably the closest bank at this point would be about 12 miles.
And ultimately, he worries how the closing could impact older residents, not just business owners.
This is a small community. A bank is vital to this community and to the people that live here because of the age of our residents, also to the local industry. And being a small community and located away from some of the larger cities, we rely on our bank tremendously.
Working for you, Troy Washington, WRTV.
Troy, thank you. Morristown residents are posting flyers about their fight to keep that bank open. They've also started a petition. They say if the bank has to leave, then they need another bank to come and move in.
Lauren, a program in Colorado to place children with foster families could soon be a model for other states to follow. The Family First Prevention Service Act of 2018 will restrict the number of children going into residential care starting this year. So a Colorado group with the Tennyson Center for Children came up with a program to allow children to stay with them temporarily. The goal is to allow advocates to spend 30 days to find children the right foster family.
What we did is just create breathing space, so that everyone can make a better choice, so they're not frantic, like, I don't know what to do with this kid, let's put them in residential. They're now saying, okay, I can put them in this program that pauses their move into residential, and I can go find a better option.
Tennyson's president says it costs $11,000 a month to care for a child in a residential program, but just several $1,000s to give them a foster family. He says the money saved by the state could then help families pay for tutoring support or transportation costs. Since the program began in October, they've had 10 kids, all of which have been placed with foster families.
The time now is 4:46. Kia is going above and beyond to unveil a new logo for its vehicles. Kia Motors launched 303 drones into the air in its home country of South Korea as it unveiled its updated branding. The Pyro drones then launched hundreds of fireworks in a synchronized display. The finale ended with the drones shaping the new logo. You can see it there. Kia believes its show set a new Guinness World Record. The company says the display had the, quote, most unmanned aerial vehicles launching fireworks simultaneously. Kia also has a new slogan, movement that inspires. And here at 4:46, want to take a turn to our forecast for this week. And Todd, it's another calm January day.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything inspirational, unlike Kia,
right,
about this forecast here, except once we get to the weekend, we'll probably work some sunshine back into the forecast. But until then, we are locked in with the clouds once again for the day today. There's no major storm systems for us. I will show you a big storm system that's impacting parts of the country in just a second. And our temperatures are going to continue to run very seasonable. Even once we get back into the sunshine, our temperatures will be seasonable in the mid to to upper 30s, but there's a big difference, right, between 35 and cloudy and 35 and sunny, and we'll get that sunshine, I think, in here for Saturday and Sunday. Outside right now, we are dealing with mostly cloudy skies. The temperature at the airport in Indy, 35 degrees. A little bit of a breeze this morning makes it feel like it's currently 28 degrees, and temperatures are sitting in the 30s anywhere you go. 33 in Bloomington, just below freezing in Bedford at 31, 33 in Crawfordsville, as well as Tipton and Muncie right now at 35 degrees. Here's how your day breaks down for you hour by hour, and very similar to yesterday. There's not much change, unfortunately, going forward throughout the entire day, as temperatures will be in the 30s. Mostly cloudy skies. Yesterday afternoon, I noticed the clouds thinning just a little bit to help brighten up the sky. There was never any blue sky out there, but at least the skies did brighten just a little bit, and highs again today right around that 37, 38 degree mark. Here are the clouds. I mentioned the storm system, and this is a big one. Yesterday, it was in Minneapolis and Omaha, and I pointed out usually you would think that's coming west to east, but a stronger storm system to our south developed, and that pulled the moisture to the south. And this storm system is going to bypass us to the south. It's going to go through Atlanta. Could be some severe weather in southern locations. Here, though, we just deal with the cloud cover from this system, and then eventually it's going to start to make its way up the east coast as we work our way into Friday. But this will finally be enough of a game changer, I think, to kind of break this pattern up a little bit. And as that storm system moves off to the east, I do think our clouds will start to thin out. This evening, temperatures will be hovering right around freezing with mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, you wake up to temperatures in the 20s. Tomorrow, I do think there's a little bit of a change, as the clouds should start to decrease as the day goes on, with temperatures in the 30s. And then once we get to the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and beyond, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. We get the sunshine back, but temperatures, again, are going to be in that 35 to 40 degree range, with overnight lows actually running a little bit cooler, Lauren, with the clearer skies. In fact, Sunday morning, some areas could be in the teens.
Ooh, all right, Todd, thank you. Let's take a look at your commute this morning on this Thursday. This is up on the northeast side, I-69 here near State Road 37. Good morning to you in Hamilton County. No problems if you're traveling in Fishers, Noblesville, any areas to our northeast this morning. Traffic is quiet. We'll continue to keep a close eye on things and keep you updated throughout the morning.
Thanks, Lauren. Well, a massive coronavirus testing program is now up and running to allow some fans to attend Saturday's playoff game. 6,700 fans will be allowed to watch in person, but all fans must test negative within 72 hours of kickoff. So crews are using a stadium parking lot for some COVID-19 testing. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says the mandatory testing program is the first of its kind in the nation. Testing will continue today. This is the first playoff game the Bills have hosted in, get this, a quarter century, Lauren.
We'll go Colts. Good news for those looking for something else to watch during the Super Bowl this year. The Puppy Bowl is still going on as scheduled. Discovery says the 17th annual Puppy Bowl will still premiere on Discovery Plus and Animal Planet on February 7th. Team Ruff and Team Fluff will face off in the 3-hour event with a kitty halftime show. 70 puppies from 22 different shelters will participate in this game. All the animals featured are up for adoption. Pretty cute.
I love that. All right, well, new art is popping up in Indy neighborhoods as part of a scavenger hunt. A look at some of the sculptures and music you can find after the break.
Plus, a small Hancock County business still giving back during this time, helping American troops stationed across the globe. Coming up, all new at 5, we'll take a look at the owner's mission for American heroes and how you can help them out. It's 4:51. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back. So you may have noticed more art popping up around Indianapolis neighborhoods, and sometimes it's in surprising places.
That's right, Lauren. It's all part of a scavenger hunt called Indy Art and Seek. Keep Indianapolis Beautiful is behind the idea. Now people can go on a self-guided art tour featuring more than 100 mini art installations. Those include sculptures, performances, and literary pieces. Akara Imani is one of the artists contributing to the scavenger hunt. Her interactive sculpture sits on the Riverside Park area near where she was born and raised. It features her original song, A Riverside Story, that can be played on your phone.
It becomes the soundtrack of that moment. The primary sound piece that's throughout the entire song is actual sound from me sitting on a bench in Riverside Park.
I could see Archie enjoying that, Lauren. You can find each piece of art in the app from the Art and Seek area, and you can link to that on our website. That's WRTV.com.
That looks like fun, a little scavenger hunt. I just wish we had a little bit warmer weather to enjoy a park bench, Todd.
You know, you can still do it. You just got to bundle up a little bit out there. I bundled up a little bit yesterday afternoon, went for a walk myself. Today, very similar to yesterday. Lots of clouds around. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. Tomorrow, I do think the clouds will start to decrease a little bit in the afternoon hours with a high of 35. So I do think skies start to brighten as we head into the weekend. And then once we get to the weekend, Saturday, there's still a little bit of lingering cloud cover. But from Sunday onward, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. Still no major storm systems heading our way. A very quiet start to January once we got past New Year's Day morning with that freezing rain. We'll dive into the forecast, have your latest news, headlines, and traffic coming up when Raphael joins us coming up at 5 o'clock. Stay with us. We'll see you in a couple minutes.